I'm Will, I'm the Bald Book Geek, and this is the no disclaimer tag. I was tagged by RK Gold. I will put a link to his channel down below. Where do we start? 1. What trope or tropes in a book annoys you the most? The strong female character trope. That I'm not like other boys, I'm not like other girls. The Mary Sue self-insertion. I don't know if that's really a trope, but if the character reads, obviously the writer, that annoys me. Sort of fantasy tropes as well, you know, the young boy and the wise old sage. It just, things like that irritate me, and I think tropes can be done very well, but you have to be careful how you do them, because if you do them badly, they are badly. And I think, yeah, you know, there's me. Which writers or writer do you feel are overrated, overhyped? Sarah J Maas, especially Sarah J Maas, she annoys me to the point of no end. She can't write. She has no way of writing anything. She suffers from the Cassandra Clare problem, where every character is basically a redo of a previous character. The difference being with Cassandra Clare, at least Cassandra Clare is fun and mind switchy off, where Sarah J Maas just reads as pretentious and annoying. I think Terry Brooks, he wrote the Shannara Chronicles, I don't like him. I'm not a big... I think Stephen King, in some senses, is overrated. I know that's a controversial one. I do like a lot of his work, but he's never outside of the Dark Tower series. I have major problems with his writing. 3. What are your least favourite books you've read since joining BookTube? Oh god, Sarah J Maas, I had to deep dive into all of her work for a video, and I think the worst of the worst was that Catwoman novel she wrote. That was pretty dire. I mean, that was really dire. I think I've oh god, it's difficult with this one because I don't tend to read books I don't like. I'm very good at that. Prior of the Orange Tree, that was pretty terrible. I detested that book with a passion. It was not a good fantasy novel at all, and it was so lazy with the writing and just being sold to people for all the wrong reasons. So yeah, that's another video. So yeah, they're definitely on my hit list of books that I hated. 4. What is a terrible ending that ruined an overall book? I don't have any. I have to admit that. I've had a few books that have ended up on a couple of... the ending wasn't that great, but I do see the point of the ending. I think this question is more for the YA reader who wants a more softer, happy ending, rather than something that's maybe a little bit more thought-provoking. It's not a bad ending, but the ending of The Handmaid's Tale, I wanted so much more than just her getting into a van and then it cutting to a talk, because I was like, I want to know what happens to you, and that's going to happen soon, so I can't wait, to say the least, on this subject. I'm like excited, because Margaret Atwood is an absolutely phenomenal writer, and I don't think I've ever read a bad book by Atwood. So, statements, people. 5. Which fictional character or characters do you wish had not been killed off? I mean, there's countless people from Harry Potter I wish hadn't been killed, but I mean, but I see the point of them dying. Again, I think this is more a YA question. I think for me personally as a reader, if a character dies, I'm kind of used to it. I've read a lot of Game of Thrones, a lot of bloodshed. Characters I like died. You get on with it and you move on because you have to. But yeah, mainly Harry Potter characters, especially Dobby. That destroyed me. So, yes. 6. What are some of your bookish pet peeves? Oh, the whole hardback versus paperback debate, and I talked about this in another video, as there are 2 types of hardback, and definitely not all hardbacks are as good as each other. Also, people write in their books. Like annotations, I get it. There are things called post-it notes. Don't write in your book. You know, just don't. What are some books you feel should have more recognition? There are countless books that I think should have more recognition, especially on BookTube. I think with BookTube being very one readership focused, it kind of gets set aside. Like there's countless countless books that should get more recognition and should get more discussion and more talked about, because yeah, it's simple, right? You know, they get swept under the rug or ignored or briefly talked about, and there are some great books that don't get any love. So yes. 8. What are your thoughts on censorship and banning books? I think both are extremely wrong. I believe we should write what we want to write and not worry about how readers will take it. I think, like, His Dark Materials was censored in America, and Harry Potter was slightly censored, and stuff like this. And when you see books, classics like To Kill a Mockingbird and Catcher in the Rye kind of banned for really stupid reasons, especially in a historical context, I don't think it's particularly a good thing. So there we go. And finally, who do I tag? I don't know, actually. I think I'm just going to say whoever wants to do this tag, consider yourself tagged, because, you know, always fun to get that going. So if you want to do it, do it. And what I'm going to say here and now is, if you like my content, like what I do, please like and subscribe as always. And please hit that little thumbs up somewhere. And also, just a reminder, YouTube is broken as always, so do hit that little bell icon if you want to keep up to date on what my videos are doing. So I will talk to you guys later, and bye.